So Spectre, Marauder. This is Mirage. Excal's a very good friend, so we'll expect quite a bit of synergy and communication from these two. This is Effie and Dallas. Also, this is a team as well. Like they've played the most together than anybody else. Marauder, Spectre, Demonator, and High Skill Dog. So Demo's the one that was just with us on Twitch on chat. Marauders and another Marauders, so actually quite a few Marauders coming out, and then double Spectres coming out for Regipoo and Fluffy. So yeah, this is really interesting because these two are really good friends, and so are these two. Bash is not really good friends with anyone, but I'm sure he'll play really well with Demonator just because they're both solid players. And then you got Regipoo, who actually hasn't opened up Zealots this time. Which is something worth noting because that's what he usually does, and then Warp Zealots, so we'll see what happens there. And of course Fluffy is a solid player now, so yeah, we'll see what happens. And no lag so far, which is brilliant. Yeah. So yeah, I actually couldn't say who's going to win this. Dallas and Effie have a really good chance though, that's all I'm going to say, because they're both Turkish and they both speak Turkish obviously, so whereas Effie normally cannot communicate with his ally very well, this time they're going to be able to really do something and plan their mercs and not make any big cock-ups, which is something that you kind of see from Effie sometimes, just because of the language barrier, like how he's supposed to communicate with someone if you cannot like actually speak that language. Whilst Dallas speaks English fairly well, so he doesn't really have that hindrance when he plays. But nice to see some Marauders coming up. Let's check the resources quick, and we've got... Ooh, some people have spent. For example, Excal spent. Yeah, he's open for the +1, so I'm not going to say it's going to be Phantom Drops again, but it's very likely to be the Medevac at 4 minutes, and then Phantom Drops again. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, Demonator and High Skill Dog are doing this weird running for the shop here, but they both play elites, so I guess that's why they're rushing for that shop. BC coming out for Bashi. Ooh, that's in a bit of Demo, good reaction there, making sure Bashi doesn't lose that. Reaper Sentry coming out. Yeah, Sentry for Excal and Reaper for Mirage. Fairly good mix, but they can get wrecked by air mercs, air elites especially. And Hellions again for Fluffy, he loves doing this strategy. But BC for Bash, so Bash is going to be able to Yamamoto all 3 of those Hellions if he gets the chance to. So it's a bit sketchy right now for Fluffster, and Sentries are going to be able to trap the Hellions and then just eat them. There's no way, there's no escape. They can turn into Hellbats, which Fluffy will do, but there's no way of actually... See, there you go. Ooh, there needed to have been a 3rd Hellion, and that would have been a 3rd force field over here, and then that would have been it. It's a hard counter in terms of elites. 1 Sentry out for Effie. Meanwhile, oh, and 2 Ravens, he's hidden them over here, and they're on full energy now, so we'll expect them to come out and get some decent Seekers or somebody. Probably on this side, because it's much better to seek Spectres, because obviously they take up more space, you can hit more, than it is getting those Marauders. Because the Marauder and Spectre, remember, they give you the same bounty, so it's not like killing 3 Marauders is going to be any better than killing 3 Spectres. And these have got Reapers in them as well, so if you can get one of those, that's 50 per pop. 50 a pop. Yeah, but generally, good game in terms of elites at 4 minutes. Everybody's got something to play with, everybody's got something to try and outplay others with. Bashi, yeah, Yamamoto on the Sentry. There it is. Oh, and 3 Hellions from Demonator. Demonator likes to do this against Fluffy because he's like, Fluffy, what you do doesn't take anything. I can do it too, watch, and he'll get Hellions and try and outfarm Fluffy of them, which is what he's done before. Fluffy ended up leaving in an angry manner, if you will. Quite a lot going on, a lot of masses colliding right now, so we're feeling it. But, oh man, that's a huge stim forward by Mirage. Okay. Did just have to tab out there, but I'm back, and yeah. So Bash was, I think he's the only person that's been able to take an elite of somebody else with the Yamamoto on the Sentry. Or actually, Dallas seems to be missing a Raven, so perhaps they got Yamamoto as well. Oh, two Reapers come off of Mirage there. It's minus 200. Those Hellions so far away from the army. Crazy. Bash Dog. Very small mass protecting that, but he doesn't care. You know, BCs are quite tanky, so you can run them forward a little bit. Not like the Hellions, which if you leave them apart and the army connects with them, you know, that'll rip through the damage, rip through the health quite quickly. Quite quickly indeed. So let's take a look at the bounty because we haven't actually seen it yet. So yeah, Bash ahead and Demo. Look at that, two and then 2-100. But Effie's the only one that hasn't hit the 1k mark yet. I wonder why that is. Oh, of course he's gone for his beetles and he's going to go for crawlers, obviously. And you'll see him start gaining his advantage and his minerals more towards the mid game and then taper off. That's pretty much what was. That was pretty brutal savior there actually from Mirage. Yeah, that was a pretty good savior. That was against the Poo, the Ragey Poo. Oh, and a counter a counter savior from Fluffy taking 2 BC from the Bash Dog. Fluffy quite content with the effectiveness of that savior. Mirage thinks he's talking about the savior that Mirage did, but of course Mirage doesn't know that the savior's come out against him, against Bashdog from Fluffy. And he should never find out because the stream isn't for him. And yeah. Very interesting Thor choice from Excal again. I guess he doesn't want to have any nonsense with the BC from Bash, and he's not going to take any chances, even though they're cross. So, oh, on the other side there's got Ravens though as well. So he's looking for that easy 2 volley kill on the Ravens. If Dallas isn't careful, he runs them in a bit, but realistically he's never going to kill any Ravens. But it just pushes them back a bit. Something Excal's been playing around with, basically, this Thor integration into his army. But he's got sentries as well, so it's not just a pure Thor rush or anything like that. And the sentries are actually quite good for trapping ghosts. So if a ghost were to come down here now, and Excal would anticipate that, he could scan and then force field off here, and then make sure that that ghost dies. So sentries, in a slight way, counter ghosts in terms of just blocking them off. So the ghost would have to get the EMP off on the sentries after sniping Thor. You'd have to snipe and then EMP and hope you get both of them, because if you don't, he's going to force field you out, or obviously snipe and then recall, because the force is not going to do anything in the time that you need. So yeah, I mean, a good game in terms of elite variety and in terms of team strength. Bashdog and Demonator doing really well. Yeah, doing really well. 2,800, 2,700, by far the strongest team. Mirage doing particularly well. I think he got a really good savior off there, and he's been farming with his Reapers very effectively. Marauders as well, quite quick, so he's been using that 6 range quite effectively. But interestingly, Mirage doesn't have many upgrades. He's just got that +1 on his Marauders, and that's it. No health upgrades, no armor. Unless, of course, I think he's been buying the these upgrades. Yeah, he has. He's been buying the middle upgrades, which cost 300. So that's just a very odd, kind of a wonky way of doing it, because you don't get that much for those upgrades compared to just upgrading attack or health. But you know, if that's his playstyle, that's his playstyle. It basically means that he can stim for longer, which is nice. Oh, he picked off a Reaper or something. Or did he lose a Reaper? Yeah, he lost a Reaper there. So the Reaper flew down, and then the force fields came behind it, and then that's where that +50 came from. Okay, but now we see Effie with a decent crawler mass, and a Thor from a Dallas as well. So it's quite an interesting choice. I guess that's for the BC as well. And here come the immense crawler pickup. Burrows under, pops up, and eats all the army. Force fields are like, well, I don't care, I can borrow, and he's borrowed out. Over here we have a huge pile up of Marauders and Excal units. Yeah, huge pile up. Meanwhile, Fluffy is still on Spectres, and he's gone for +6 for those Hellion Flames. Obviously they scale quite well, you get more farm, but he'd managed to lose 2 Hellions somehow, and he's just rebought them. But if we look at this one, 26 kills, you know, that's reasonable. It's not an expensive unit, so if you get 26 kills on each of them, and now obviously that's going to jump up. Now it's 30 kills, 33. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, they are farming well. Fly them up, get them into position, and shoot. It's not difficult to get the 125 minerals that you spent on them back. But there's always the question of, well, would he have just been better off with Reapers or a Raven or something? It's very difficult to gauge whether or not they're farming better or worse than other units. Certainly, they should farm better than Reapers, shouldn't they? Because Reapers jump up cliffs and are much faster in terms of like escaping dangerous situations, whilst the Hellion, 2 force fields and it's dead, or forces a recall. So they should farm better because they have less mobility. Doesn't make sense that they farm worse than Reapers and also worse at escaping, but it's unclear whether or not that's the case, because you're dealing with like the average flame, how many units, the width that he's hitting on the actual units. Because if he hits only the front 2 rows and he kills 4 Spectres per flame, it might not be that good. But if he's getting like a whole 9 row of them, then of course they're starting to farm like a Fester, like a spellcaster, like a HT, if he's starting to do some serious AoE damage. But very interesting choice of Excal and Mirage to both camp this ledge like really, really hard. If those Hellions come up this ramp, immediately the force field is going to come down. That's what they see. Excal immediately brings the sentries out. He's going to force field down. He's trying it there. Look, well, at the very least, he's got this army to feed off of now, but he's looking for that savior. That's why Excal, if you're wondering why Excal's not just eating this, is because he's thinking this is the perfect time for Fluffy to save it. Meanwhile, you've got a big scuffle up here, a nice concave with the Blink Stalkers on the ledge there, but of course the Red Scan coming up to attack that high ground. Let's have a look at these Ravens. 28 kills, 21 kills, pretty modest. I mean, yeah. Depends what he's killed. If there's 28 Marauders, that would be great. But Bash very thoroughly countered there. That was some ballsy move. Like, you didn't see panic there, did you? You didn't see Dallas be like, oh shit, I can't escape. He can walk through force fields, but he's very slow, so he would have died anyway. But he said, well, you know, it's only 350 to make my Thor again. If I kill your BC, that's 300 that you lose. So there's not much of a difference. Nothing terrible has happened here if I get one of your BC. And he did. So That wasn't really amazing. That was a 50 mineral net gain by top right from killing that Thor, which could have been much worse. If he'd panicked and tried to walk through and then lost it, then that would have just been straight up minus 350. But because he had balls of steel and he was able to really rationally think about it, he just took the BC and died, and he was like, well, that's fine. 50 minerals is less, half a Reaper he's lost basically. Of course he gets 150 for the BC kill as well, and it's another 200, and he's got his Thor back. Oh, I see Nuclear has joined. Hi Nuclear, nice to see you. Good to see you. Feel free to come and obs any pre-made that's happening after this. And other than that, we're going to carry on. Let's check Demonator's bounty. Yeah, okay, him and him and Bash, both on that 5.1k lead, with Fluffy on 5.4k. Fluffy's lost a few Hellions, so he's probably more around just 5k instead of 5.5k or even 4.5k. Demonator hasn't lost anything, I don't think. And Bash has lost 2 BC at least. So Demonator actually I think is leading in terms of real bounty. Mirage doing very well, and Excal lagging behind a little bit, probably not finding any place to really engage, because who wants to engage against a Thor and 2 sentries? Not only will the Thor munch through your ship, but also the sentries are going to make sure you don't have a concave to work with. But what Excal has decided is that Fluffy is never going to get his tower again. So he's just sat here having a great time. And also you might think, well, why the hell are they stuck over here so much? Well, it's because in the mid game, crawlers are just disgusting at just controlling the map. Like in order for Excal to fight over here, he's going to need so much extra support, or Hunter's the mercenary, not Hunter Killer's the hero, because the crawlers have so much HP and so much armor early on that he's able to, like, look at this. Okay, one crawler goes down. Effie's not microing right now, but he should start burrowing these front ones and moving out. But in any case, he lost, you can see that's 4, and he killed one when he came in, so that's 5 crawlers for about, I don't know, like 100 minerals of units. So the trade was really bad. Excal's just taking it because he's desperate and he needs some money. He's happy to feed Effie if it means he gets half of the money back. Yeah, this is going to be pretty disgusting, especially if the Seekers come down, or just PDDs would deal with these Marauders really well. Yeah, I mean, if you see how many extra numbers are coming here of +8s and +3s than just +10s, you'll see Effie's going to start reaping the rewards of this. So he's jumped up to 4k, Excal still on 3k. So yeah, I mean, Reggie's struggling a little bit with the Phoenix because they don't farm anything. They just have to counter. So Reggie's done well in making sure Excal doesn't. He can't really push too hard in without risking the Phoenix. But generally the Phoenix is just so bad at farming that, even worse than the Ghost obviously, so that he's going to need something. He's either going to need a Merc compound really soon, but how can you farm it without a farming unit? Or he just needs like a tank or a sentry or some Reapers to then start trying making plays. Like, he comes over here and he force fields this chunk here to make sure that he can just eat everything here and here. But this is bad, and he at least needs to cast Time Warp. Excuse me. I need to sneeze. Yeah, so definitely needs to start casting Time Warp. Yep, there we go, very good. Because that's like 50% less attack speed that the enemy is going to be using in that space. You just spam out Time Warp just over and over again, and it becomes a very strong support unit. Over here we've got a Demonator, +7 Merc, with the Sentry still alive, +8 Merc. Now he's just upgraded and he's going Marines now, quite wisely, because, you know, +8 is generally, +7, +8 is generally the number that you would stop buying Merc upgrades and start going Marines upgrades, Marine health and Marine damage. Let's take a look at Bash, +8 again, Stalkers, and hasn't got any Marine production, but it's because he's got his support tower and Lancers, so if you start to go Marines, he'll very quickly fill up and supply, and then have to either feed those Marines or kill them. So yeah, he doesn't need his Marines yet, his composition doesn't allow for it. So he may go for a little bit longer, maybe a couple more armor or more health on his Stalkers before going Marines, because this is a very merc heavy composition. Then you got Fluffy +6, and he's going health as well. He's just upgraded his health there. And then you've got the Rage with +1 armor and +0 Marines. Oh, and he's got an armored Phoenix as well. So this is something actually that nobody else has ever done. So I can't really comment on it yet. But the Time Warp can definitely help Fluffy farm, stopping units from escaping, stopping units from dealing as much damage, but he has to watch out. I think yeah, the Yamamoto 1 won't be enough, but 2 will be enough to take out that Phoenix. Big blink in from the Bash, immediate Guardian Shield from Excal, and pulling his elites, his investments out. So this is actually going to end up being quite nice for Excal, even though he's behind Bounty, and it's not the ideal. Oh, that sentry is so out of position. Yeah, it's dead. Or at least he might save this. Bash is looking for the other Yamamoto there. Oh, but the Thor again. Excal balls of steel. He knows, like, just kill the BC. Don't run. Like, he could have tried to run out of panic to save his Thor, but actually, if he did run, there was a good chance that he was going to get another Yamamoto on him. So just balls of steel again, face it, shoot it, kill it, and even if the Thor went down afterwards, it's not as bad as just losing the Thor and not taking a BC off of Bash. Oh, that was a move forward, just a plain old move forward and kill with the multi-lock on the glass. So another BC going down for Bash Dog. Losing them left and right, literally left and then right. So he's rebought those. I mean, yeah, okay, so he's gone for the +9, still no Marines, because it doesn't make sense to add Marines into his army yet. He's doing very efficient trades because he's got such a strong compound, like a mercenary army, that how can you really trade effectively of this if you're using Marines and Marauders against the 3BC as well? And of course, every upgrade he gets for the Stalkers will give a lot to the BC, as opposed to only getting half of that for the Marine upgrades. And yeah, soon he'll be able to just double or triple Yamamoto Thors down and try and deal with them that way. But this is big feed for him. Like, if you look how few +10s are coming out compared to how many +3s and +4s are coming out, you'll notice just how much a Marine Marauder composition like this feeds. But big map dominance, like I was saying, it's all about taking your towers, protecting your sides, which I wouldn't really say Bash has done here, but Demo is doing a lot more. Protecting his sides, and then trying to go mid, and then take the other towers, try and get involved in the other fights from the outside like this. Yeah. Good thing about Stalkers is, yeah, Bash immediately throws one out there, sees everything that's happening here. If they're having a big trade over here, then you can start getting involved, kill any investments that come too close to the ramps here. And of course, when you want to go home with your investments, you have to bring them over here, close for the BC to come and attack. Looking over here at the FE Dallas cam, interesting. Thor and Ghost. Thor for the BC, and maybe Ghost just to EMP the BC and to kill Excal's Thor. But again, look at the numbers here compared to the amount of crawlers are dying. It's still very much the mid game. This point where there's like +7-ish on everyone's mercs, I would call that the mid game. And then once the Marines are coming out with the +10 Marines, and the crawlers are like, oh, what do we do? We're so bad now. That's the late game. But until then, until everyone's got their big strong Marines up, the crawlers are going to do super well. Oh, the Thor drop though, the sick Thor drop. Immediately takes one Raven, and then the lift off, and then the drop, and another Thor. Wow, very well done. Almost English, almost a sentence. But that was a sick double Thor drop. Not that he dropped 2 Thors, that he dropped twice the Thor on the ledge. Yeah, that was pretty sick. So, yeah, I mean, now it's really good that it's 36 minutes in and people have still, like, Demonator's still got the Hellions that he's had from the start of the game. Like, he's still using them, still farming them, still microing them. If you look at the APM, 204 average APM for that Demonator. It's just, obviously, that's a lot of APM in the Hellions, and then he's also having to start to step everything every time with his Marauders. Very nice APM intensive build. Excal on his 100 average is it's pretty, like, a very solid calm average that Excal has, like pretty much always 100. 149 for Bash, just frantically blinking around trying to keep those BC safe, pulling them out all the time. Takes a lot to keep them in position all the time. 127 and 131 over here. So obviously, without having to start to step all the time, Fluffy doesn't need as much APM for his Goliaths. But he's still got quite high APM for the Hellions, obviously. And Raging flying around with that one Phoenix, making sure, again, he's always clicking around a lot of it because it's very fast and you don't want it to go too far. It's interesting to see how people are spending their APMs regularly. And you see Excal's APM drops to something much more respectable during a fight, 180, 200 even. Oof, making sure that Thor doesn't take his Medi down. And then he'll come back and he'll hit back to that nice chill sort of under 100 average, just a chrono boost, just to look around, click on stuff. Yeah, but it's pretty cool to see APMs. My boy Demonator, of course, with the highest APM, going for those harder, sort of more intensive strats. I mean, Hellion, Sentry, Marauders, pretty sexy. And of course, the idea behind Demonator's strat here is to place 4 or 5 force fields down and then have them all stacking up and trapped, especially right here. So you place down 1, 2, 3 force fields and then fry everything in the middle of what Demonator likes to call the barbecue. Just kill everything in the middle whilst it's all stacked up. Very cheeky Hellion here, about to be punished for that insolence, which it was, just flying it across the map. And Demonator's got slow on his Marauders, and Bash has got blink. Ooh, the big confident move forward, of course, using that multi-lock to kill a bunch, or kill a BC. Only loses about half of the money in like maybe 10 Goliaths to do that, so it's always worth it. Bash should know better. I do it against him all the time. In fact, when he starts doing that, you can just blink forward, I guess. Though it was off cooldown for that one Hellion. So, interesting game with all the Thors, because I guess everyone's kind of sick of Bash winning games with BC, so now it's like, well, let's just get a Thor just in case, because you can't ever get too close. Can't ever get too close with that BC. Yeah. But yeah, it's nice synergy. I like when Dallas and Effie play, just because you get this cool stuff. Like, he's moving his crawlers with the Thor, just so even if they have the tower, even if anybody's watching, you're unlikely to notice the dark spots underneath Dallas's army. And then you can pop up and do all sorts of crazy shit, kill everyone's investments. Big pushing from Demonator. If we check the bounty, it's going to be very heavily in Demonator's favour, I'm sure. Yeah, 9.2k for Demonator and 10.5k for Bashi. Which is funny. Before Demonator was saying, like, my win rate with Bash is like 0%. Apparently, they lose their games together all the time. But this time, they're going to win this, almost guaranteed. Very sick plays together. The Marauders and Stalkers, giving them quite a lot of mobility, a lot of speed. The VC giving him a lot of firepower from above, and meanwhile it's the sort of firepower from above that isn't immediately countered by a medevac, like a Raven or an Oracle. Fluffy getting very agitated with just how oh, how interesting. He's saying demos. Hang on, I thought maybe. Look at this. Oh, Reggie's gonna get it. Beauty. Yeah, well done, Reggie. You've got your one unit, but at least you're doing something useful. But killing that Excal medevac. Shrekking him. I thought Fluffy was getting agitated with Excal coming over here and just sitting there with the Thor and making sure that Fluffy never gets the tower. But he said Demonator. Maybe that was a joke, but Demonator's also been sat mid. Oh, I see. Yeah, so Demonator's been stood by the shop, making sure that Fluffy never gets his Hellions back, never gets the farming potential that he's looking for. Because how is he going to contest with the Thor if he doesn't have anything to attack Excal's surrounding army with? So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for a hero, Fester or something. And generally, it's looking really good for top right. If you just look at the minimap and I ask you who do you think is going to win this or who do you think is in the best position, it is the people who are able to sit mid without anybody contesting them. It just pretty much means no one can do anything about what they've got, what units they have, what composition they have. That's obviously the big tell. Yeah, pretty sick. Ooh, big savior. Look how many fucking units though. That's insane. It's an insane amount of units. Fluffy saying I hate you. Please just let me have my units. Let's get some sound going. Since I'm worried about copyright, I just do StarCraft music. Big drop coming in from Bash to kill that Thor. And he's gonna get it. Just about though. Very close to not getting it. That would have been a big waste of 300 minerals. Meanwhile, Excal, realizing that he's not going to be able to do anything here, playing in the sides. Being the old sewer rat, making sure that he's not making awful trades here, and the other guys know, well, let's not deal with these guys yet, let's fight Excal on the sides there. So it is what you do, and then it's up to Demonator and Bash to start pushing these sides and stopping the big trades that are happening there. But that's the hardest part. Either that or just wait till sudden death, which is much more safe, because once you push yourself out here, you're much more at risk of something awful happening, getting surrounded over here by whatever team that isn't the one you're being annoying to. But Ragey, unfortunately, he hasn't had the best game, and he has been stuck on these 0-0 Marines for a long time. Oh gosh, did he lose his Phoenix? You poor, poor sod. He's lost his Phoenix as well, so now he's outie. He's out of all units. Currently 0 PM. The Rage is AFK. Yeah, the Rage is AFK. Look at that bounty though, 12, 10k. Fluffy also keeping up there. Effie also keeping up there. Like I said, the mid-game power of crawlers is pretty insane, and since Excal can't go the other side apparently, he's fighting the Effie and giving him as much money as he wants. 6 to 7k to that 10.5k crawlers. Yeah, that's a lot of 15 minutes at mid, but what's he going to do? Because they've taken the compound there, and Effie's being pressured by 2 players, so it's pretty much up to just Fluffy to dislodge them out of mid. Yeah, but I mean, this early dominance, and then and there it is, the rage quit, the big old rage quit. Fluffy says, well, I'm never going to be able to get any elites, I'm never going to be able to use skill and strategy to outplay the enemy, so I'm just going to do a big old leave. And there it is. Now, Reggie at least has some stronger lives to play with. They're gonna fuck you and leave. Big blink in. That's exactly what he wants to hear. And yeah, I mean, one really nice thing about Stalker with the Bash Dog, always gonna lose that BC, is that he can blink into the ledge and then bring the BC in to compensate for any bad concave that he's just blinked into. So yeah, there might be units all around here. He might be kind of squashed, but at least his BC are going to make up some of the difference. He'll be able to farm other players who are trying to make the decent trades with each other in the ledge, with the BC helping him compensate for any bad concave. So that's a good strat. The only thing is, and this is why he would normally go Goliath, is that other people with Goliath drops would be able to wreck BC very easily. Even with Stalkers moving forward, like if you just find a good time to fly in, drop your BC, to absolutely just destroy that 900 investment that he has. If you get a good connect like that, it can be really game changing and game breaking. So that's why he usually has Goliath for his own multi-lock. So you know, you fly in and the multi-lock happens and immediately the medivacs go down, and they just have these stunned stupid Goliaths, because of course when the medevac dies all the units are stunned for a while after they land. So if you can get them before they even hit your BC, it's just perfect. They fall down, they get stunned, and then you mop them up with the BC they came to kill. So look at the bounty there, look at Effie's bounty. I mean, Effie's doing really well, 12k, Dallas doing well with the 8k. Everyone else, you know, it's hovering around that same sort of 9 to 10 to 11k. Only really Bash breaking it and saying, well, I'm going to have 14k. But Bash has lost a lot of BC as well, so again, in real bounty, probably. Let's check. Probably Demonator again as the highest. Yeah, I sympathise a lot with what Bash is saying right now. Apparently this is how Vince has wanted it, and Vince isn't going to change it, so this is just something we have to get used to. Ooh, big saviour, my god. Effie actually being the unfortunate sod that had to fly all the way across map just to get that enormous saviour to the face. Enormous saviour, that's pretty gross. And Excal actually dropped a fucking Thor in there and he hasn't lost it. Rebuilding the compound, that's just gonna immediately feed. I would cancel that. Although I guess Excal needs the money. Desperate photon cannon. Ooh, that Thor almost is going down. Mirage desperate for the... Oh, the Thor went down. Mirage desperate for that kill. I don't think they're actually going to get it. Reiji spammed 5 armor on it. Pretty much denying Excal. Oh, and he's got 5 armor on that CC as well, so... By doing that, he's denied the kills going to Excal. Desperately needed. I mean, the game was over anyway, so it wasn't a big deal, but... That 5 armor causing trouble. Meanwhile, back at home, Effie is just plowing through. +8 Marines and Phantoms +6. So he is dealing with those crawlers at least a little bit. We're past that mid-game stage now, so crawlers will become weaker and weaker and then obsolete. So yeah, Effie's doing the right thing of upgrading his attack. But he doesn't play with a keyboard. Like if you look at if you look at the others, they'll act very differently from Effie because he doesn't play with a keyboard, so he doesn't have control groups and he doesn't upgrade his upgrades with like hotkeys, right? So it makes life a bit harder for him. Also, imagine he doesn't egg click, so he has to highlight and then press A in the corner and then attack. So that's very interesting. Big push coming in from top right team. Those sentry force fields are doing a huge deal right there. That is a lot. 30% range damage, which is every single unit here is doing range damage. 30% damage reduction is insane. That's 30% and then the armor. He doesn't have any armor, but he could have had armor. Yeah, Ragey, Fluffy definitely needs to take a rage pill. If you have any of those, definitely send it to the Netherlands, which is a very calm country where Fluffy lives. But yeah, he's quite an angry kid. I imagine he said a few angry words to you in Ally chat as well, right? But the game definitely didn't go well for him. He didn't get any map dominance at all. Obviously, Excal didn't let him have the left tower, Bash and Demo didn't let him have the right tower. And then Bash and Demo didn't let him have the shop to get his aliens again, so he was literally stuck in his base and nothing to do. He was getting angry, just sitting there, nothing to do but getting angrier. And from Excal's point of view, he's looking at the bounty board right now with this exact vision, thinking, Jesus Christ, 13 and 16k, this is pretty bad. How do I, oh, he's just scammed them. Yeah, he's thinking, how do I fix this? And he's thinking, yeah, I'm gonna have to drop Bash. I have to kill him. That's the only way. So, unsurprisingly, here we are. I didn't even realize that until he scanned. But yeah. Really weird game of all the fours. Sundeath about to come in. And we have the last hope over here for the Team 1. Big Team 1. Dallas, 130 kills on that Thor, not bad, not bad. Tanks coming up for Demonator, seems reasonable, right? Sundeath, it's camp mid. We already have elites, BC, Sentry. We already have tons of upgrades for our elites. What is this? Map hack, stream hack, bloody Russians hacking again. Why have they lost me? That is the real question. They should just be sat there with tanks. Why is Excal pushing forward anyhow? that tank's dead, that's for sure. Getting closer. We're getting closer to the big moment. I mean, they're gonna need to destroy base defense, surely. Big old U-turn Rooney. I'm really hoping Bash isn't watching the stream. Or maybe he's finally learning from his mistakes and keeping his flank clear. I just feel like at this point, Excal really needs sentries himself. Start force fielding him out on the base. Because right now, Demonator is the only one of units that control the map's environment, and once you can control the map's environment, you can start to abuse other people's bad position by forcing them to be in bad position. Which is, you know, an enormous strength. Obviously, sentries don't do any damage, but those force fields changing the map is huge. So. And the 30% damage reduction is obviously a game changer as well. So at this point, both of these teams should have 4 sentries and 4 tanks each. Especially versus temples. Just force field them up. Boop boop. No problem. Good. Tanks are good. Demonator not actually holding the mid right now. He's almost holding the mid right now, but he's not. You can see on the minimap. The square isn't yellow, so he's not holding it. Now it's yellow. Yeah, Excal doing well for taking that tower on the right there. Definitely good. Any money that they're not getting is going to help. Not sure if Dallas knows whether Effie has had it translated to him, because maybe they would be fighting for the North Tower a bit more. Just thought I should throw that out there, because you can see how defensively Mirage has his tanks on the left to make sure that no one's going to be pushing this tower. Which is the dream, at least, from Effie and Tower. Here comes a big ghost play from Demonator. Excal spotted it, I think, yeah. Managed to throw that shield up right before the snipe actually happened, and only take half damage. So, yeah, that was pretty well played, and killed the ghost as well. Well played. That tank's gonna die. You can actually lift tanks out with a medevac now, so rather than having to unsiege and wait for them to move, you can just boop, pick them up and drop them down again. Definitely worth it, just for saving one tank. It's already worth the medevac. Oh, that was a snipe. Looking at that bounty, 21k Bash Dog, 18k Demonator. Ooh, and the Thor going down. We'll just double check. Let's get a double check. Pretty nice drop there to get that BC. I mean, even with a big bounty difference, he's still taking BCs, which is quite nice. They just don't actually scale that well in health and things, so it's not like they become immortal like on the US. It seems like you can just walk around with your big fat BC and no one's going to care, or the BC's not going to care about anyone. Let's take a look at that APM. I'm interested in seeing that. Yeah, Dominator's still a 200 average. Bash Dog. Dallas hasn't had a Merc for a long time, presumably because it will just get dropped or triple Yamamoto'd. But obviously that's the position you never want to be in. You want to have so many base defense upgrades and so many turret upgrades and so many everything upgrades, so that you're never in this horrible position of not having any upper base. Like, I guess, yeah, he's going +6 now, turret damage, so the BC, if he just scans, they'll go down in seconds. That needs to happen before the compound goes down. But it just never feels good wasting money on base defenses, because you're thinking, well, no, I need to snowball, I need to get stronger, I need my units to be stronger so I can farm better and win more, not slow down and start upgrading shit that's not going to help me very much. But if you just think it's inevitable that they're going to try and take your compound at some point, so it will always be useful, like upgrading your armor, upgrading your health is always going to be useful. But yeah, I mean, at this point, fucktard. Bit of pants. Ooh, a big nuke happening. I mean, it was something. Probably wasn't worth it, especially since he lost his ghost. It was definitely not worth it. Well, I mean, if Effie realizes that this BC just stood there, just lift a few units up here and then plop them over there. Yeah. Oh, okay, no, he's just gonna hit them from the low ground. that was nice, 350 and 300. Yeah, Bash doing well for taking this tower off of Excal, because it's supposed to be a free tower, it's supposed to be his free tower. Ooh, but that's a lot of feed. Dallas's Marines aren't particularly strong, obviously. 0-0, that's definitely not the definition of particularly strong. Demonator not happy with that turret, preventing any drop-ins. Oh my god, Bash, how can you lose another BC? My god. I think he's like me. After you realize you've won, you just stop playing, just relax. Like, it's too stressful. If it's not even to win because you already won, then why continue stressing yourself out, hitting that big APM? And Demo definitely does not think that. He's definitely already won and he's still on 200 APM average. But then he will go to sleep after this, so he knows there's nothing to conserve. He's just going to have a good old rest with a big old Remade PREMADE victory on his hands. Thor doing a lot of work still. He's a good like defensive robot, like he just runs around the perimeter and anything that flies it'll shoot down. Pretty good for that. Nice job. But unless they start doing something about mid, the game is always going to go one way. That's the whole point of sudden death. It's all oriented around this little beacon here with the weird symbol on it. The entire game, all about this, guys. Anything else that's happening other than CC's getting blown up from big drops isn't important. And now, of course, the tower's super important. So from Bash's perspective, he's thinking, we've got mid, we've got 2 towers, let's get more towers. Here we go again. They need to blow base defenses, but they can't get to a shop. Yeah, they can't get to a shop. Demonator ramming through. Obviously, looking at the bounty difference, that's 26k and 23k plus the mid income, which hasn't been factored in. Yeah. Okay, the PFs have been fixed so that you no longer lose 200 supply, so now it's actually okay. I was going to say it's not good to go PF if you lose 200 supply. You just have 200 of your own army around, 200 supply of your own army around your CC, and it'll be better than having a PF, obviously. But now that's been fixed, well done cons, you fix things like Bob did them. Mirage very content sitting here and getting himself a tower. Excal about to fly in. Ooh, but whilst there's a... that was too funny. I mean, he dropped onto Mirage, he just recalled out. And then the big drop happened here. That's funny. That's crazy. I was thinking, oh, why is Mirage leaving Excal alone? But actually that worked out really well, didn't it? I'm guessing that they've kind of given up on fighting Bash and Demonator and say, okay, they've won, but we want second place. Oof, those tanks are dead. Not the best timing for sieging up those tanks. Like, he'd obviously just clicked on them and was like, right, siege up there, and then he's going to bring the army in. But Effie didn't want to allow that. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely game. When they stop fighting Team 1, then obviously it's going to end the game. Now it's pretty much luck who Demonator and Bash decide to kill first for second place. So I don't know. I wouldn't ever really stop fighting Team 1, the leading team, because like I say, it's just pure luck. Pure luck. You might be finishing these guys off, and then they're like, okay, well let's finish them off first, and then kill you. Or they'll say, oh, since your army's over here, we're just going to go and try and take you out, take your base out. Even if you've left a lot of army here, at least your attention is over here. So we're going to kill your base, and you'll die first, and then these guys will die. So second place isn't really worth fighting for anyway. It's only first place that you should matter. That should care. Oof. Ooh, big drop. Big drop from the F-star saying, I'm going to take your compound. Doesn't matter what your bounty is, you're still going to lose your compound. Because they're spread thin, obviously. Look, they have to try and cover so much. Now this tower and this tower, and also you forget about your own little merc compound up here. There it is, the 200 APM guy and the VC guy. Gonna make it happen. I'm really surprised at how late this pre-made is. Since when do we have like 3 in the morning pre-mades? Pretty crazy. I mean, it is a weekend, I guess. People can do what they want. Nice push in with the drop to fulfill the concave, that's pretty nice. And there it is. Meanwhile, Excal doing the doom drop as well. Very nice. Oh, again a big drop over. Well, I'm glad Demo definitely learned his lesson, because I did this to him and actually did get his PF when he was in quite a bit bounty ahead of me. I did put that one up on YouTube. So he's learnt his lesson. These guys are on a low bounty. All they can do right now is drop the shit out of that planetary fortress and take the game for themselves. Yeah, that's it. Well played. I mean, it's not very difficult to say what went so well here. It's very strong elite opening from Demonator. Everybody else went for one elite. Demonator went for Hellions and Sentry and didn't lose them and was able to force field stuff and get the flames off. Like, that's just a much more skilled play. It's just a much better play. So in this game where it's about micro and scale, like, it just makes more sense that he played better and he won. Meanwhile, Bash did his BC, Blink, and they completely shut down Rage Yuku. Obviously, I didn't have his compound for a long time. And then they after they gained map control, they absolutely did not let go of any of that map control. Like, they didn't give up their tower for even a second, and then they are actually able to camp the shop and make sure that this team was completely fucked. It's almost justifiable that Fluffy rage quit, because he was, unless he could have gone for hero play, and Bash and Demo, they don't use Ghost all that often, so he could have maybe got something down there like Fester or something. But yeah, but overall they were pretty fucked when Demo said, yeah, why does she have the APM to farm top left whilst holding this tower and stopping you from getting anything from the shop. There we have it. Yep, GG. GG. I think Regipu's right, GG. Oh man. Oh, the 5 armor, 23k health. Yeah, that's a lot of HP upgrades as well. Hey, look at that missile turret, it's got 7,000 health. A normal one has 3,500. It's got twice as much health as it normally has, that missile turret. Oof, splendid. Alright, well played to top right. I mean, I expected them to win anyway because they had a very strong team. But I thought Effie and Dallas had a good chance as well. Like, I knew they'd have good synergy, and they did really. They did have good synergy. Yeah, that's a liability. Fluffy can do that, you know.